We will now suspend the session for final consultations on the adoption of the agenda. We will resume shortly.
A call for a short break after the opening plenary left delegate idle for the most of the day on Monday, with resumption of the plenary pushed back several times.
Thank you.
Eventually, when it resumed very late in the day, all agendas were adopted and parties even adopted a decision on the Paris Agreement's Article 6.4 mechanism, which legalizes carbon markets as a solution to climate change. But the criticism that followed was swift, many calling it a move that bypasses countries' ability to revise and strengthen these standards.
With regard to concerns about due process, I will have to say that we are a UN body governed by the Conference of the Parties serving as the meeting of the parties to the Paris Agreement. We absolutely must follow due process at all times. And the CMA is free to give the supervisory body any guidance it wishes to, and we are more than happy to receive that guidance and elaborate on it.
To course correct, the UN Secretary General reminds world leaders of what is at stake: floods tearing through communities and tearing down infrastructure, children going to bed hungry as droughts ravage crops, telling them all these disasters and more are being supercharged by human-made climate change. He urged the leaders to focus on three priorities. First, emergency emissions reductions. Second, to do more to protect people from the ravages of the climate crisis. And the third priority is finance.
Last year, developing and emerging markets outside China received just 15 cents per every dollar invested in clean energy globally. COP29 must tear down the walls of climate finance. Developing countries must not leave Baku empty-handed. A deal is a must.
Many leaders, including the British Prime Minister, the President of Turkey, Serbia, and Zimbabwe, among others, have addressed the Tuesday's high-level segment for heads of state and governments. But the message to the leaders here and in their home countries is to tell their negotiators to skip the posturing and move directly to finding a common ground before the end of this conference. From Olympic Stadium in Baku, Azerbaijan, the venue of COP29, Ayola Kasim, Channels Television News.